really close together on your desk. Always right here, always together, you know, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night. And then you start feeding stuff.
So that's enough for you to wish death on me all the time?
Oh.
That's a video apparently recorded by missing woman Maya Millete of an argument with her husband Larry where he accuses her of having an affair. We're about to find out if Larry will stand trial for murder. Thanks for joining us at 6 a.m. everyone. I'm Eric Connor.
And I'm Netta Irampur. So glad to have you with us here. Larry Millete's preliminary hearing, it's expected to wrap up at some point today. CBS 8's Dana Marie McNichol live at the downtown courthouse with these latest details in that video. Good morning.
Good morning, Eric and Netta. It was an intense day in court. That video was actually never before shown to the public. Now, it was captured by Maya Millete in October of 2020. You can hear the audio, a conversation, an argument even between Maya and her husband, Larry. She accuses him of wanting her dead. Now, in terms of who testified yesterday, we heard from a DA investigator. He says that he takes a look at some of the context of their relationship and how it definitely wasn't a good one. In terms of the timeline, he speaks to when Larry Millete was unaccounted for 12 hours. Take a listen.
All passive events terminated all the way to approximately 6:33 p.m. on the same day. So an absence of about 12 hours approximately.
Then that DA investigator also shared with us about a time when they found somebody burning something in their backyard fireplace in May of 2021, and they also found a burnt credit card in that fireplace. So of course there's some evidence they went over yesterday in court. It is finishing up today, the preliminary hearing. We heard from the last witnesses. Soon we are going to find out if Larry Millete will stand trial for his wife Maya Millete. Now, in terms of what happened earlier, this has been a 10-day preliminary hearing. A lot of witnesses testified. Head to CBS8.com if you'd like to read what happened in previous days. Of course, we're going to be continuing to cover this heavily. I'm Dana Marie McNichol coming to you live in downtown San Diego.
Also new this morning, Chula Vista's District 3 still does not have a city council member. The city council meeting wrapped up just before 1 a.m., but officials were not able to come to an agreement. They interviewed 10 applicants to fill the seat left vacant by Steve Padilla when he was elected to the state senate. A special meeting will be held next Tuesday. Council members need to appoint someone by February 3rd, or they will have to hold an expensive special election.
And now some new video this morning showing a hero right here seen wrestling away a gun from the suspect in Saturday's mass shooting at Monterey Park. Police say the gunman opened fire at that dance hall during a Lunar New Year celebration and killed 11 people. Authorities say the gunman then went to a second dance studio where right there 26-year-old Brandon Say confronted him. The gunman later took his own life. Today, Vice President Kamala Harris will visit Monterey Park to grieve with the community. And then in Half Moon Bay, the man accused of killing 7 people at 2 separate mushroom farms is expected to be arraigned today. You saw video right there of him getting taken into custody. Authorities say the suspect targeted his co-workers at those 2 separate locations on Monday. Governor Gavin Newsom visited Half Moon Bay yesterday.
I haven't done all the damn press conferences yesterday. I was here the whole day. I can't do those again. I can't keep doing them, saying the same thing over and over again. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah, he went from Monterey Park over to Half Moon Bay. And we do have a little bit of good news through all of this. The victim who survived is out of surgery, currently in stable condition. Leaders in San Diego's AAPI community are planning a town hall after these shootings. Mental health resources will be available. This event will also call for more action from elected leaders. It'll be held this Sunday at noon at the San Diego Police Multicultural Center that's in City Heights. We'll also stream it live for you on CBS8.com.
The city of San Diego's COVID-19 state of emergency will come to an end on February 28th. The COVID vaccine mandate for city workers will also end. The head of the police union says 130 members left the department because of the mandate.
We've lost a huge amount of experience. We're glad that this is finally over. We can put this behind us, but there's been a lot of damage.
91% of the city's workforce is already vaccinated. About 1,000 city employees received religious or medical exemptions.
And now the Farmers Insurance Open teeing off in San Diego in just a few short hours. 156 golfers will compete for $8.7 million. Woo.
Yeah, pretty decent purse here. The tournament kicks off at 9 a.m. at the Torrey Pines Golf Course. CBS 8's Chris Groh is there right now, joining us live with a preview. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, guys. And just about a half hour ago, again, you could see the grounds crew that was out here on the practice greens making sure that everything was ready for the horde of golfers that will be out here pretty soon. In fact, you can see right here, this is the north putting green, and over to our left, of course, closer to the pro shop is going to be that south putting green. But this is going to be an exciting day. The opening round here for the Farmers Insurance Open, and a lot of those names that you are familiar with, especially if you are a PGA Tour golf fan, are going to be here in San Diego. In fact, we've got the likes of Jon Rahm, Justin Thomas, Xander Schauffele, again, that hometown kid going to be teeing it up here at Torrey Pines. Now, the first set of golfers are going to be going off at 9 a.m. That is the first tee time that'll be going off. But Xander's going to be going off at 9:40 over on the north course. And generally speaking, the north course is going to be that easier challenge compared to the south course. It's not quite as long. You don't get into the elements so much, but it is still a challenge, especially for those amateurs that got to play out there yesterday. But we actually were able to hear from Xander yesterday, just after his Pro-Am round, kind of speaking again about being here in San Diego, Torrey Pines, and what he's looking forward to in the Farmers Insurance Open, trying to win his first Farmers Insurance Open.
San Diego's finally putting out some nice weather. I'm biased, it's my hometown, so I always think there's a pretty strong field here at the Farmers, and you know, it's a big part of the West Coast swing, and I think, you know, guys feel like, you know, if they want to play the West Coast swing, they got to play here.
And so, look, we've seen Xander play pretty well out here, but we're still waiting for him to get that first victory, whether it be during the Farmers Insurance Open or if, you know, hey, we get the U.S. Open back after we hosted it in 2021. Those are the opportunities for Xander to win in his hometown. We don't get any other professional golf tournaments coming to San Diego. So, again, I got to imagine that there's a little bit of added pressure, which here on the golf course is not always a good thing, but sometimes these pros, they're really good about turning that pressure into victory, into trying to make sure that they're extra laser focused. In fact, you'll notice that when those pros get out on the putting green, if we're still here or if we're out at the driving range, that talking, that joking, that jovial kind of attitude, not going to be as present as we saw yesterday during the Pro-Am.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
that's over now.
Yeah, you had a lot of fun with them yesterday.
Game on, yeah.
They're laser focused. But also, I want to ask you, Chris, because tomorrow, Evan's been talking about these Santa Ana winds.
Yeah.
The winds are going to come from the opposite direction, east to west, instead of from the coast.
Ooh.
I'm sure they're going to have to make adjustments, right?
Yeah, and it all depends, obviously, what holes they're going to be on, which way they're facing, and even which ball flight. We heard Justin Thomas talking about this, specifically when he was talking about the North Course, how that favors a left-to-right ball flight. A lot of these guys don't necessarily hit the ball straight, especially on purpose. A lot of them have a natural curve to their shot, so that actually, if you're talking about from east to west, left-to-right ball flight, that'll actually help them get that ball going a little bit further, because as you might imagine, the ball, if it's pushing right, the wind is pushing left. That'll help keep it up in the air a little bit longer.
Chris, my curve is not natural at all on my swing, just so everyone, because it curves every which way.
It's whatever nature wants it to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Thanks, Chris.
Hey, as long as you can get it going one way and control it. Yep.
That's right.
Hey, as long as the club meets the ball, that's.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes that's a little embarrassing too.
Yeah. That's why I just stay off the
green. That's why we watch
entirely.
The Farmers Insurance Open.
Leave it to the professionals. Yeah, you heard it there. Santa Anas are back in the forecast tonight into tomorrow. Tomorrow being the most active day. Temperatures as we wake up this morning on our Wednesday are rather chilly. We don't have a frost advisory like we did yesterday, but it is still cold out there. 32 right now in Ramona, 34 in Escondido, 37 in El Cajon. And as we look off toward the coastline, we're mostly in the 40s to start off the day. But we are at least going to be warming up by this afternoon. afternoon. So take a look. Forecast highs are in the low 70s for many of our inland valleys. Along the coastline, we'll stick to the upper 60s. We are expecting today to be another very sunny day out there. We've already seen a beautiful sunrise view out there so far, and we're just going to keep seeing that sun beaming through. Temperatures, though, again, are going to be slow to warm up. It's going to take until noon, 1 p.m. for us to get even close to these afternoon highs. So between now and then, the jacket is still warranted. Keep it with you. Beach hazard statement remains in effect all the way through 6 a.m. tomorrow. 5 to 8 foot waves out along the San Diego coastline. You head up to Orange County, and those wave heights are slightly simmered down a bit, 4 to 6 feet, but still elevated and still warranting that beach hazard statement. So National Weather Service suggests you, of course, check in with a lifeguard if you're going to be out there in the water, and only experienced surfers or swimmers should be doing so. But when we look at your watches, warnings, and advisories related to wind, well, that's a whole different situation. The entire county of San Diego covered with a wind advisory or high wind warning. We're expecting that those gusts start to pick up tonight, but are at their peak tomorrow afternoon between about 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. or so. That's going to be a pretty solid stretch of dry, gusty, warm air coming across the mountains toward the coastline. So coming up in just a bit, we will time that out for you specifically and take a look at how fast those winds are going to be traveling. Looking at traffic this morning, drive times are not all that impacted as we head through the 6 o'clock hour. Green on the screen here on the 5 southbound, 78 westbound, and 52 westbound to kick off your Wednesday morning. Back to you.